I'm so excited to launch my brand new book, Astrology Realized, Your Journey to Understanding Astrology. Buy it now on Amazon.com. Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this episode of Synchronicity. I am your host, Nadiya Shah, and this is your moment of synchronicity. And this is the special series that I am doing on fate and free will in astrology, as requested by friends and fans out there just like you. And I'm here with the very fabulous Cassandra Joan Butler. Cassandra, thank you for being here.
Pleasure, dear. Thank you very much.
So how do you understand fate and free will in astrology, in the context of astrology?
Well, I really feel it's both. That's called kind of like the middle way, the Libran rising way. But it really is, because I believe that we are born into a context. We're born into a particular physicality, born with certain attributes. That's fate. And then the free will is what you do with it. And we make choices every day, and in every way we make these choices. One of my favorite quotes is Carl Jung, who says, "Free will is doing what I have to do gladly." So in other words, we have to identify what our fate, as it were, what our path is, and either accept or reject. And so I think a lot of people, in my experience, have been very turned off by the idea of astrology because they don't want to think that we're just puppets on a string. That goes against our natural human ego to think we're all consuming and all powerful. But what I've learned through astrology is it humbles us. We're part of a greater system. You know, you have one cell in our body, that's not going to have a maverick revolution. It's part of the entire body. We're all souls within a bigger context, a bigger body. Even the words cell and soul are somewhat connected. So I think that when we look at how we can integrate our lives and make our choices, it doesn't become an either-or situation. It's really both.
And how do you have a specific example of how you, or maybe how you advise a client to utilize astrology so that they could better use their free will?
Of course. As we know that in astrology, when you look at the transits, the key of that word is changes, timings. You can anticipate with a particular transit coming up that might be a little bit more challenging or more easy. And how I guide folks is I basically remind them that this too shall pass. The good, the bad, and the not so good. That sounds really simplistic, but astrology can identify where those time passages are and give people hope and give them a sense of meaning with their lives, because everything that happens is integrated. You know, people get annoyed or worried, or we live in a society very often that just congratulates happiness, but life isn't always a yacht ride. I mean, sometimes it is, but sometimes you have to be on the couch and just let things pass and be in your womb or your cocoon, and then you come out again. Everything's a yin and yang, and astrology teaches us about balance. For every Saturn in our chart, there's a Jupiter. And so when we look at our astrology chart by transits or by our personal natal chart, we can learn to work with those yin and yang, up, down, and the flow. We're not always breathing, inhaling, we have to exhale too. So that's what free will and fate conversation to me is. It's always about a balance and a moving in and out of certain circumstances.
Thank you so much for sharing your perspective, because you're a beautiful and brilliant astrologer.
Very sweet. Thank you.
And thank you so much for being here to celebrate Cassandra Joan Butler and fate and free will in astrology as part of this special series with me. Until we connect again, take care.